Hello everyone, friends. My name is Vitaly Eskimbator. If this is your first time meeting me, let me briefly introduce myself. I'm a professional trader, and I've personally been in the markets since 2016. And in our team, we have guys who have been in the market since 2010 and even since 2002. Just imagine that. So we have a big team. So what did we decide to do? We decided to create a series of completely open, absolutely free lessons where we will share with you the skills and strategies that we personally use. Here you'll find several real working trading strategies that we use ourselves on our personal accounts and on our investors' accounts. Don't look for any catch here, there isn't one, and I'll be honest with you. We mainly make our money from selling trading algorithms. Our main income also comes from working with our own accounts. So in these videos, I'll be showing you our accounts, how we work with them, and you'll see for yourself that there's no catch here. For every strategy that I explain, there will be a trading algorithm for that specific strategy. In simple terms, a bot. That's where our earnings come from. In fact, you can use this strategy manually, earn money manually, and you'll see how effective it is. But you'll also realize how inconvenient it is. Accordingly, you'll realize that connecting an algorithm or a bot to the existing strategy that will do everything for you makes things much, much easier. So whether it's nighttime or you're away from your computer, the bot is always working. Unfortunately, you're limited by time, but with the right approach, both manual trading and trading with a bot can yield good results. So I want to say right away that there won't be any magic pill here. For most of you, maybe these strategies won't be suitable because it all depends on your knowledge. That is, if you already have certain patterns in your mind based on some knowledge, you might simply say that this strategy doesn't make sense. But I will show you and I will demonstrate in practice that this strategy does in fact make sense. Because in trading, absolutely everyone can be right and wrong at the same time. There is one simple truth in trading, a very, very simple truth that prevails over absolutely all the words and all the actions you might say, do, or think, and so on. In trading, only one thing matters, and that's making a profit. If you make money thanks to your strategy or your skills, then you are right. If you have some other strategy and you tell me that my strategy doesn't work, well, then that will be your truth. So let's not waste any time. I'll get started right away. I want to say right away that you won't find any strategies here where you'll be making 20 or 30% per month. That, of course, is pure fantasy, and you should always stay realistic in the market. Believe me, you always need to stay realistic in the market. Never trust those gurus who buy themselves a Ferrari from trading. That's nonsense. I mean, it's just nonsense, my friends. Trading is nothing more than a regular job. Each of you should learn to earn, let's say, 5 to 10% per month. That, of course, is fantastic. Earning 10% a month is excellent. There will be months when you earn maybe 10, 11, 12, even 13%. But there will also be months when you make 1%, 2%, maybe even 0 or minus 2%. So trading is not entirely predictable, and at first it's very difficult to build your personal budget solely on trading. Again, to make a living from trading, you need to understand that first of all, it will take more than 1 year of practice because you really do need experience. Because the problem in trading is not with the strategies themselves. You'll understand this later. It's not about the strategies themselves because it seems like everything works, right? All the strategies work, everything works perfectly, but you still end up losing money, and you'll come to realize this. The problem in trading lies in emotions, and in incorrect so. Where do emotions come from? Emotions are usually fear and greed. Fear, that is, greed comes from wanting to make a quick buck, right? It's simple. You have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, and you want to double your capital in just 2 weeks. Of course, that's nonsense. So you start taking risks, then you see that the market does something you didn't expect, and your greed just flips into fear, and you end up completely terrified. You can't sleep at night, you're panicking, you lose your capital, and you say, trading isn't for you, it's psychologically uncomfortable, it's hard, and so on. That's it. Even when you do make some money from time to time, you'll always have these kinds of moments. In other words, uncomfortable moments in trading are part of the process, and we live with them constantly. A trader isn't someone who just sets things up and then goes off to relax. Number, you need to get used to it to this kind of state, which isn't always comfortable. There are certain downsides here. But when you realize all this, understand it and make this experience your own. In other words, you have to live through this experience. Some people will need a year, some 2, some 3, maybe even 5 years to go through all of this. But then from that moment on, you become successful. I have repeatedly lost my entire deposit. There were times that were very, very tough. I think everyone has gone through that. And probably only when you overcome yourself, yes, you fall once, you fall twice, you fall 3 times, 10 times, but you still keep clawing your way through with your teeth and hands, digging yourself out of that hole. And when you have nothing left to lose, all of this experience becomes a kind of practice for you. The main thing is don't fall into the same mistake again. Your task is simply to understand, to use your head. Like, I made this mistake in the past, next time I shouldn't make it again, right? It's like a child, bam, hits his head once, runs into a pole a second time, a third time, but fourth time you should already understand. If you don't get it by the fourth time, then maybe you need to work in a different field. Okay, well, let's start slowly. I'll leave the introductory part. Okay, yes. All the strategies, as I already mentioned, we make money by later offering all the strategies you'll see here, the trading algorithm. You can test them for free for 30 days without any restrictions. So I'll give you the bot, show you how to set it up, you test it, and only after that you decide whether you want to work with the trading bot, don't want to work with the trading bot, and so on. In the description below this video, you'll find all our social media, all our links on how to contact us. Okay, let's go. Look, I have probably the first lesson we always do with our students is understanding the instrument you're working with. I'll mostly be showing you using gold as an example. Why gold? Because, well, I'm used to working with gold, but this logic, this approach can be applied to other instruments as well. All instruments, absolutely all of them, follow the same logic. That is, there are a few basic fundamental principles. With every instrument, you need to understand that there's this concept that after growth, there's always a correction. This happens everywhere, no matter what asset it is. For example, if this intraday growth in gold is about 1 to 2%, this impulsive growth on silver, it's, I don't know, about 1.5 to 2%. And on Ethereum or Bitcoin can have a 3% move. And on Ethereum, this kind of intraday impulsive growth, the fluctuations can be around 4% and so on. So you need to know these parameters. You need to understand which instrument you're working with, because based on your understanding of the instrument that is, you need to know how much volatility it has, because it's based on its volatility that you'll set your profits, stop losses, levels, and so on. And it's very important to know this. The problem is that when people use a strategy that works well on gold and then try to apply it to the euro, well, no, it doesn't work that way. Every instrument has its own logic, so let me begin.